Hi, we're installing our Drainback unit. It's a completely pre-plumbed unit. We've moved it into position against the plumbing wall. So this unit is completely pre-plumbed. It's an 80-gallon tank. We also have 120s. Has all the plumbing connections ready for you to hook up. Now in this room, we have our supply lines, our hot and cold lines already piped in. And we have the feed and return from the roof collector already plumbed in. So you have all that done. Then you move the tank in place. And now we're going to connect it. It's very simple. Reservoir, so you can see if you ever have to do this, maybe to flush it. You just open the service valve at the bottom. That's not the tank drain, it's on the coil. And you can watch the level drop. So as I'm draining it, what's happening, I'm going to drain it halfway. I'm going to keep the coil. We're draining the reservoir. And this whole system is part of the Cascade, SunEarth Cascade system. This is a complete pre-plumbed unit for the mechanical room. And the rest of it is the piping up to the roof and the collector on the roof. And that's all covered in the Cascade manual. This allows you to just hook up 4 connections, fill it up, and hook up the wire from the roof, and you're ready to go based on the manual. So we're draining it right there. Now, if you're going to fill it, you're either going to use a pump and pump in. Some people pump in some people use a little antifreeze mix if you're in real cold climate. Some people, as I open the city water, I'm going to open the fill valve. You can watch the level go up there. And that'll either happen if you're using a transfer pump pumping out of a bucket. And let's say you put, 30% antifreeze in there, propylene glycol for any cold weather issues. And then you fill it to slow it down a little bit. You can slow it right here. So your pump is running and you just throttle it down and you stop it right there. And so that's about the level you want to have the reservoir. Then you would turn off your pump, and I'm turning off the water. And now the tank is full. So your reservoir, it's a reservoir. It's ready to go. Then we're going to fill the drain pack system. So what you use is this is a charge pump or transfer pump. And I'll show you how it works. You have your fluid in a bucket. You have it hooked up. You get some of the water out of the bucket and put it into the tank. Now on this unit, I have a variation. I can increase or decrease the flow. So it depends on what we're doing with the system. I have it on the low flow now. So this happens, and this is all prime. You prime this, and this is all prime. If you turn off the pump, the suction side is into the pump. The discharge will go right here. This is the fill line for the drain pack, right here. What's going to happen is, I'm not going to show you this. What's going to happen is I'm going to turn off the pump. Right now it's running. So I'm going to turn it off, and what will happen is I'll turn on the charge pump. And the charge pump, we're just going to pretend that it's on. I'm going to see if I can. So as the charge pump is running, what will happen is the fluid will slowly fill. There's a coil in here. It'll slowly fill that, and then it'll fill up this drain pack here. And you'll see the fluid level rising as the pump is on. So the pump is on slow.
doesn't have to be a large pump. This is for other purposes too, but you can see the fluid is rising. So just assume the pump's on, it's pulling fluid out of our reservoir, and that reservoir could be water, or you could add a little glycol if you're in a real cold climate. It's up to you. But you can see the sight glass fluid is rising. And so we're going to let it go, and you fill it slowly. It fills the coil first and then comes up into the tank. There's a coil around the heat exchanger. So it's rising. Pump with these still running. We're filling it up. So we're going to get it to about just an inch below the top. So as it fills, coming close. If you overfill it, you can always shut everything off and drain a little bit back out of the drain to bring it down to where where it's supposed to be. Or you can add if you didn't add enough. So once it's full, it'll come up to here. Then, and all the plumbing is in. So we have the lines to and from the roof connected, and we have the tank to and from the cold water connected. So this tank is full of potable water. That's inside this 80-gallon tank is full. So then what you would do, and all the sensors are hooked up to our SolFlex controller. So this is our controller that has Wi-Fi capability. So you can see on your phone what is happening with this. So you don't have to be home. You can control it. You can turn it off. You can, if you have an element in this tank, you can activate it with this controller. So it has a lot of options. And this is, again, the Drainpack system. So what I'm going to do now, see our level's almost there. I'm going to plug in the pump. This is the circulation pump right here. This is already installed. I'm going to plug it into the control. And the pump's starting. And now you'll see the level drop. So what it's doing is it's pumping out of the Drainpack reservoir. And it's going up to the roof. And then depending on how high the roof is, we kind of want it to be here, but we're in a little bit of we have a high ceiling here, so it'll pump, and then you can see it on the control. Let me see if I can, there we go, I can light it up. That's the pump spinning. That just means there's power to the pump. The actual flow is happening here. You can see it go up, and if this is going up and down, your pump's working. And you can see it's 96 on the roof and 75 in the tank. The fluid is still going up to the roof. This is over 2 stories. This is almost 3 stories high. If you have anything over 2 stories, please contact us. These are residential systems. They're designed for residential use generally. And if you have higher lifts, then there may be some considerations. But this one, it's still pumping, and it's 100 degrees now on the roof. And then all of a sudden, as soon as we get toward the bottom, now if you're with a normal one, you'll have it about here at the end. That's where your level should be, about right there. But this is, again, a little higher lift. I'm coming down, and then it's coming back on this line. All of a sudden, you'll hear it come back. You'll hear the water coming back in. This kind of levels off. It stops. It's filling it back, so it's making its cycle. And that air, what you hear is the air and the fluid bubbling back into the tank. That's Drainpack. It's pushing the air out of the system, putting it up in here, and then the water is flowing through this, down here, through the heat exchanger, and then back up. And it's a circuit, just like a racetrack, or you're going around and around on the freeway. And then you can see the temperature has dropped. to 93. Now with this, you can see this on your phone.